And here we are now with another outside of the box tip for productivity. This is not the typical advice that you get from all the people who talk about productivity. This lesson is all about time for rest. The whole idea that you should hustle, and work 100 hours a week is completely false. There are only a select few people who really can actually work 100 hours per week. But even then, I question whether these superhumans aren't suffering from lack of sleep. Regardless, no matter whether you're superhuman or like the rest of us, we all have to pay attention to our energy levels as well as our mental health and physical health. Otherwise, you will end up in a hospital. There are many studies and books that show if you overwork yourself, then your quality of work goes down the drain. Overwork stresses you out, which causes your health to go downhill. If you're going to get sick once a month because of how you're treating your body and your mind, that will take away from your productive time. The point here is that you need to take time for rest. When your mind and your body tells you that you are too tired to put in the work that you need to put in, then you should really listen to it. If you've already put in the hard day's work at your job and you really don't have enough energy for anything else when you get home, then don't do anything else. Or if you're studying and you're trying to build up your own startup at the same time, pay attention to your energy levels. If your body and your mind says stop, take a rest. It's okay. There's always tomorrow. I know that we've all got 24 hours in a day. We all need to use it wisely, but we also need to stay healthy. Otherwise, we will end up in the hospital bed, and that's no place that anyone wants to be. You can use the extra time you have, the time for relaxation, with your family, or maybe spend it with your best friend. Spend it meditating. Spend it even reading. I know that previously I said reading is not a hobby, but reading is also not one of those strenuous activities that will make you sweat, but it does make your brain work, though. And if you need to rest your brain, then please don't read. Do something else that doesn't require a whole lot of brain work. And life does not always have to be about work as well, right? In fact, it shouldn't be just about work. No one ever says, I wish I had spent more time working before they die. However, people do say, I wish I had made more of my life before they die. And that's because they didn't do anything meaningful or not meaningful enough or have meaningful enough experiences while they were still able to. When you have the energy to work, use it well. And when you don't, use it to recover and to spend time with family. You have to make time for enjoyment as well as time with your friends, family, whatever makes you happy. Those are the types of things that will keep you sane and keep you healthy. It's also like recharging your battery, both physically and mentally. But I also have to warn you never to get trapped, because sometimes our mind tricks us and says that you don't have enough energy when you really do. Our mind searches for the temptations of life, of like watching a movie, sitting down, turning on Netflix, playing a game on our phone, or scrolling through social media just because it says, oh, I don't have enough energy. Let's just sit down and relax. Never use it as an excuse to not do the work that really does need to get done and the fact that you do have enough energy. It's our natural tendency as humans to be lazy and procrastinate. Regardless of what you believe, there's always this voice inside your head saying, "Oh no, I can just wait until tomorrow. I don't need to do that right now. I can just sit here, watch a movie, play a game." So ask yourself, is this voice trying to trick me? Or do I actually have enough energy mentally and physically to do what I need to do what needs to get done? In this case, you can try using the 5-minute rule, which is the one that I mentioned before. Just start the activity for 5 minutes, and then if you have enough energy to continue, you feel like you do, then you will do so. If you feel like you really need to stop, maybe you need to sleep, maybe you need to lay down because you don't have enough energy, either mentally or physically, then just stop. It's okay. There's always the next day after you have already recuperated. Here's another suggestion. I learned this from the 4 agreements, which I said that I will mention again. One of the agreements in the book is always do your best. Nothing more, nothing less. I've mentioned this before. Just as a reminder, if you try to do more than your best, then you're stretching yourself too thin. If you try to do less than your best, then you know that you can certainly do better. You're just being lazy. If you do your true best, then you know that you're reaching your potential. In fact, it's okay to push yourself just a little bit, as long as it's not going beyond the threshold of your energy for that day. So imagine it like this. We have certain levels of energy per day. When we sleep, that energy level gets recharged. Our mental, our physical energy gets recharged. If you go beyond that amount of energy during the day, then you are going to be drained. It will be harder for you to recover the next day. In fact, it might take you actually a few days to recover from too much energy expended. I also want to suggest having at least 1 day per week where you just take a rest. You don't need to focus on work that day. You don't need to focus on any projects that day. All you need to do is enjoy yourself and the people around you. I know this can be quite difficult for many people. Maybe it's difficult for you, but do it for yourself. Do yourself a favor and give it a try to see how you feel. It doesn't hurt to try, to experiment. By doing this, you will notice a big difference in your productivity the following day. Your battery will be recharged and you will be ready to go. Now, think of the best place where you can find your rest and recharge your batteries. Where do you find your stillness and your peacefulness or excitement and fun? Write it down and keep it. Always remember to go to this place, whether it's physical, mental, or even both. Anytime you feel that you just need some time to rest and reflect and have fun, feel free to share your discovery of your peaceful or fun place and send it to matt@bookmatic.com. Now it's time to move on.